Alright, we are going to do a nice little skull Illustrator tutorial here. And the first thing that we are going to need is Adobe Illustrator open and create a new file. So I'll just get you ready to go where we're at. First, we are going to do a letter. We are going to do a landscape, and that'll change your width to 11 and your height to 8.5. Those aren't set in stone, so if you wanted to shrink them up to have your computer move a little bit faster, you'd be able to do that. And then just hit OK. I'm just going to show my layer just so you can kind of see where we are going with it. And I'll just move that over to the side here. So we're going to be building a little bit of a skull. Okay, and it might modify a bit, but that'll be a nice, easy little tutorial for us. So a couple things that you're going to notice is I already pulled out and did a tear off for my circle. We're going to be using that quite a bit. And then I also have my window workspace, and I have my essentials, and I just pulled that over from the right-hand side. So that's how I can get it so I can see all the nice little names of it. So if you are learning what the icons are, it will help you out quite a bit if you can actually see where they're going. Okay, last little thing, view. Make sure your smart guides are in fact turned on. So you'll notice that there's this little check mark, and that is what we are looking for. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to pick a color. This is going to basically go to white, but just so we can see what is happening here with our circles, that'll work out. So here is my color. This is my fill. This is my stroke color. And you're going to notice my smart guides are already starting to work. So I want to be somewhat in the center. And I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to hold down Option. I'm just going to drag those together. This is going to be for my head shape. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing, but it's just going to be a little bit smaller. Holding down Shift and Alt Option. And I want that a little bit smaller. Beautiful. I'm going to click V. Now the two things that we're going to talk about quite a bit, and these are just going to be shortcut keys. The black arrow. If I just hover, you're going to notice that it says V, and then my direct selection tool is A. So I'm just going to say black arrow, white arrow, and you're going to see that it's going to bounce back and forth quite a bit. So if I have A, you're going to notice that I have a white arrow. If I do V, you're going to notice that I have a black arrow. Okay? V is for our heavy lifting, so we can move this. I just want a slight little change. Okay, looking good. Something like that. All right, and I'm just going to do this right now so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, beautiful. So I have a nice little head shape. I have the black arrow selected. I'm going to hold down Shift, get them both together. And I'm going to come over to this nice little Pathfinder. If you do not see Pathfinder, you can go under Window, go down, and we're going to be using Pathfinder all the time. And I'm just going to come over here. Notice that I do not have a stroke, by the way, and I'm just going to click Unite, and that's going to merge those into one nice big shape. Beautiful. Okay, now I can start adding on my stroke. I'm going to want a pretty stroke. Let's go 18 looks pretty good. Okay? As long as it looks pretty stylized, so I want a pretty fat line to it. Okay, let's go for the nose. Okay, nose, I want the circle. I'm going to have a black fill, and then I do not want a stroke. I'm just going to draw an oval. Doesn't matter what size quite yet. I'm going to come up to the top where it says Effect, Warp, and I'm going to go down to where it says Bulge. I'm just going to zero these out just so you can see what's happening. I'm on a vertical axis, by the way. I'm just pulling them vertical over so it starts to get more teardroppy. So you can kind of see that the top is getting pointed. That's a nice teardrop at this point. Hit OK. And I'm going to come over to Object, and I'm going to go Expand Appearance. Now I've got a nice little teardrop. Looks good. I'm going to click V so I have the black arrow back. And I'm just going to rotate that guy over, and let's just shrink this up. I'm not holding down Shift. I want this kind of down. Beautiful. I'm holding Alt-Option. Notice that I have a little white arrow, and now I can copy that shape over. Now, depending on how creepy you want to get them, you could leave a little bit of a gap. So if you wanted to have more of a zombie type of a look, that might not be a bad little shape right there. But I just want these kind of be an upside down heart, but not super perfect. Okay, looks good. I'm holding down Shift, Pathfinder, and I am adding those together. Oh, I probably hit the wrong thing. Command Z. Shift, and there we go. So now I have a nice little heart shape. Beautiful. All right, let's do this nice little mouth. Mouth is going to be super easy. Now, depending on how crazy you want this circle to get, let's go A. I just don't want these to be perfect. I'm using my white arrow right now. I'm just pulling it slightly up that top. I'm just going to bring over, I'm going to go back to my black arrow. I just want to change that to white just so I know what I'm looking at. Okay. Beautiful. I'm holding down Option. Do it again. I'm just going to do 4 on this one. I'm going to do a slight little bend on this as it comes over, and I want this to shrink up. Okay, Option, and bring that one over. Rotate. I don't want these to be perfect, by the way. Okay. The things you guys can do is just kind of click on them. See, what I'm really looking for is this kind of top, kind of the gum area. Is that looking where I want it to? Again, I can always go to A, and I'm just pulling up on these and get a little bit of a difference to it. I just don't want it to be exact or just look like circles. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's unite. They're all nice and together at this point in time. And now I am going to start doing my stroke. Okay, looks pretty good. Keep in mind you could do 5. You can do as many of them as possible. I'm going to bring that up until I can see that. There we go, right there. Okay, I want to bring my nose down. I want this to be fairly cute. And I want a big giant area for some big old eyeballs. Oh, he's adorable. Okay, beautiful. Next. We might go back and be really fancy with some shadows later, but if we just want to do some nice simple stuff, this will work out just fine. Okay, I want a big old eyeball. Notice that I have no stroke, and I have a black fill. I'm going to go Effect, go back to the bulge. Okay, just want a little taper up at the top. I'm going to hit OK. Object, Expand. Then I'm going to come back, Effect, Warp, and I'm going to look for Arc. I just want to kind of see if we can get this to kind of come out a little bit more. Sweet. Okay. Object, Expand. Man, that looks good. V. I'm just going to do a slight little rotation. Okay. I've got my black arrow selected. I'm holding down Alt-Option. I'm dragging that over. Notice my little smart guides are already telling me that it is lined up. Transform, I am going to go to Reflect, popping that over. Okay, Now for this one, now keep in mind you could keep them centered. I just want one to be a little bit off. Maybe this one I want to be a little bit fatter. Okay, looking good. So things to just be aware of, I do not have a stroke on this yet. Okay, now we're going to start to do the little kind of the inside of the skull. I'm going to just switch this over to white just so we can kind of see what's happening. Okay, I have the black arrow selected. This is all shortcut keys. Command C, Command F. All I did right there is I copied and then I pasted in front. Okay, so if I'm pulling this over, there's just two of them now. So I just Command C, Command F. We're going to do that one quite a bit. And I'm looking for a nice little rotation. Notice I'm back on my black arrow, where there's a lot of shortcuts with this program. Shift, so I've got new circle shape, and I'm looking for this overlap area right here. Okay, notice on my sample, I've got this nice little gray area. That's what I'm creating. So I've got them both shaped. Now I'm just going minus front. Minus front, swatches. Let's just do a dark gray. Boom. Now I got a cool little shadow shape. Let's do the same thing. I'm clicking on the eyeball. Command C, Command F. I've got a new shape, keep in mind. Come back with our circle. Let's say I want to do the outside shape again. Go back to my black arrow. I clicked V, Shift, Pathfinder, minus front, swatches, dark gray. Okay. Now keep in mind, if you wanted to have more of the bottom of the lip, you know, you could kind of always modify what that circle shape is. So if you want to be real specific with it, that would you'd be able to do that. I'm going to come over to a white. Now we're going to do our nice little highlights. Now depending on how big you want these, they'll start getting very adorable. Let's put it that way. So the bigger the highlights, the more kid-friendly he will appear. So if we're doing Casper the Ghost, we want big old. Moving that up, come back, fill it with white. Click V. Okay, I'm holding Shift. Shift, Alt. Get my other little, and I want to just scale those down. Okay, man, he is adorable. Maybe I'll shrink this guy up a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm just being a little picky for no reason. All right, so that would be kind of a good little stopping point. Now, other little things you guys could be doing if we want to complete this whole thing. One, I would do a little save check. Let's go File, Save. Okay, you can just title it Skull if you would like to. Okay. Now, little things that we will point out. Let's do this. I'm going to click on both of these. I'm holding Shift. I've got my black arrow. I'm going to come over to where it says Stroke, and I want to click on Align Stroke Outside. It might adjust it a bit. You may or may not like it. To Inside, Outside. Yeah, see what happens. Let's go outside. Kind of switched it up a bit. We can always change it, keep in mind. And what I'm looking to do is I'm going to start doing some shadows on the teeth. I'm just going to start doing some shadows on the head shape as well. So Command C, Command F. Coming to my white arrow, by the way. I'm just seeing if I can get a nice little smooth curve happening. I don't want anything over here. Okay, this little shape right here really doesn't matter. What I'm looking for is this curve. Okay, black arrow, shift, Pathfinder. I'm going to go minus front, get rid of this goofy stroke. I did not paste in front, shame on me. Okay, we're going to be sending back for a whole long time. Send backwards. Boom, there we go. Okay, so I'm just looking for this little shape. Okay, same thing, Command C, Command F. Oh, this one's going to be a whole lot harder, isn't it? Let's do a Command C, a Command F again. I just want to see if we can just do a real simple guy. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this stroke. Okay, let's see how that works. Shift, shift, minus front. Get rid of that. I don't want to stroke. Go back to your fill color, and we are looking for a nice little shadow. Now that could totally shrink up. All right, let's test our strategy. Things. We'll just leave it as is. I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, let's do our little. I want line tool. This is just a good little way of practicing our line tool. Working on our stroke. You can play around with the different pens. Okay, looks pretty good. Straight line tool. I'm just drawing some nice little stitches. I like them if they're not perfect, but that'll kind of give you a nice little look. Okay, so we've got a nice little skull happening here. Keep in mind you can always shift. You know, I can always group things together. If I don't want the shape, I'm missing one shape, shift. So if I want these to be modified a bit, or if I don't want them in that position, I can always just hold down shift, get them all together. Keep in mind I can always group them as well. So if I want these to read as one, okay. F. Holy cow. Okay, beautiful. Shift, shift. I'm just modifying the shape a little bit now, just so we can get something that I am looking for. Okay, looking good. I could also do a little shadow in here, but for right now, I say we're going to be good. I would just file save, be good to go. So as you guys are getting better at this, things you could be modifying. Let's put some more cheek shapes in here. We can really go crazy with the highlights and the shadows, but this for kind of a starter will be kind of a good little starting point. And then all this is a circle behind. So if you were looking to do some other type of shape, just go until you find the center. Draw it out. Okay, I'm going V, arrange, send to back. And then I could fill that with really any type of gray I want. Black. Okay, looking good. Okay, looks pretty good, guys. I might just take this. See if I can get that up a bit. Okay, looking good. Okay, we have ourselves a nice, wonderful little skull. File save. Be done with it. If you were saving for web and devices, file save as. If you were looking for a JPEG, there it is. Save as a ping. Okay, done and done, guys.